Turn up, man. Yeah. Trying to calm down, got to. I just can't sometimes.
Feel like I'm Pablo, feel like Escobar. Feel like a Chapo, if they went too far. Feel like I'm Tony, my friends let me scar. Let me win no heart, let me win no heart. Feel like I'm Pablo, feel like Escobar. Feel like a Chapo, wish they went too far. Feel like I'm Tony, my friends let me scar. Let me win no heart, let me win no heart. Let me win no heart, I just played my part. Told me not to come to your dog at the bar. Lose situation in the pool with sharks. I'm plugged in, I can turn my pain into art. Young static shot, I give you bitches spark. Put that bag over your face, now you're in the dark. Renovate the hotel in the pen now. I want the ransom, you come late, we chopping skin off. Don't pull up to the yoke, bring my cash, no window. Yeah, I been the GOAT, bitch, I was born in December. Remember we were kings, we had expensive things. Over those ass hood dreams, damn. Feel like I'm Pablo, feel like Escobar. Feel like a Chapo, if they went too far. Feel like I'm Tony, my friends let me scar. Let me win no heart, let me win no heart. Feel like Escobar. Feel like a Chapo, if they went too far. Feel like I'm Tony, my friends let me scar. Let me win no heart, let me win no heart.
Feeling like I'm Tony when I step out the booth. Money stacked to the roof, hash all on my tooth. Yeah, got a cougar in the coop. Cross me like they hoop. Tryna cross me, then I shoot. Bitch, check my stats on the news. Feeling like I'm Pablo, yeah, I got hands on sight. Bad bitches, my delight. They all want the pipe. They fucking with the hype. Never touching no white. Making boss moves, that's every day. Tryna hit a lick off in the bay. Tryna get them Cali strands, yeah. Tryna make a couple bands, yeah. Tryna make a couple stacks, damn. Tryna get a couple racks. Young niggas can't relax. Too much money to attract. Niggas better recognize a young nigga on the rise.
Feel like I'm Pablo, feel like Escobar. Feel like a Chapo, if they went too far. Feel like I'm Tony.
Alright, we are back for a brand new episode, ladies and gentlemen, of the Real Leel Show. We back! And it's time to get into some topics. You know, it feels good to be back here on S.STREET Media. It's been a minute, obviously. We finished up doing the college version of the Real Leel Show, which, you know, was very successful. Our season finale was a whopping 4-hour show with over 20 plus topics. I mean, we talked about it all, ladies and gentlemen. We talked from pop culture to sports to conspiracy to theory, whatever you want to name it. We done did it all in that season finale. But now it's time for the summertime to come back over here on the podcast version, which, to be honest with you, is the best version of the Real Leel Show. Why? Because it's not FCC regulated. It's more things that could be said. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, it's about to get real interesting. So before I get into my topics, you know, I'm going to just be straight up with y'all. I'm one tired dude, you know, because ever since I came home, I've been, you know, doing a lot of running around. Obviously, earlier today, I had filmed the episode, The Raw Deal with Gene Dale, the day in the Bronx. So that video probably will be dropping soon. But yes, for those of y'all that are Gene Dale fans and y'all like the 3-part series that he did, there's like basically a finale that's coming out. So I gave y'all the heads up. You only get that on the Real Leel Show, ladies and gentlemen. You don't get it nowhere else. You get it on the Real Leel Show. But nevertheless, we got sports topics today. We got pop culture topics today. We got our new segment that I brought in the last episode, which is Real Random Topic, where we discuss all random pop culture topics that is in news. So we got the Knicks today to talk about. The Zion sweepstakes. Obviously, the Pelicans drafted Zion with the #1 pick. We got Deontay Wilder versus Dominique Brazile. I mean, that fight is going to be, let's just say, somebody might be leaving in the ambulance, all right? So we might have to make some funeral arrangements after that fight based on what somebody has said. So good luck with that. And funerals are very expensive, so it's gonna have to be a lot of money that got to be saved. We also got to talk about the playoffs and much more, and got to get into some Steve Harvey, some Aisha Curry. She made some very strange comments that I wouldn't have expected to hear from her. I never got a chance to talk about it. We're gonna talk about it today. So let's start off with the Knicks. I'm gonna give my reactions to the Knicks and the Pelicans, who drafted the Knicks with the #1 pick. Now, as a native New Yorker, ladies and gentlemen, it's heartbreaking to see a team that was your favorite team when you started watching the league, as the Knicks were for me, to just always get the short end of the stick. You know that wherever can go wrong will go wrong, because that's exactly what it is with the daggone Knicks. All right. So never in my lifetime I saw the Knicks and they were the team that they needed to be. So this year there was a lot riding, and there's still a lot more riding for the Knicks this year. Obviously, KD, Kyrie, free agency, a possibility. But we wanted to make a splash right off the back in the NBA lottery. So we had our hopes with getting the #1 pick. And we had our hopes crushed. All right? Zion got drafted by the Pelicans, leaving us with the #3 pick behind the Memphis Grizzlies. So if I'm being real here, as much as I was heartbroken, as much as I stared in front of the TV for about 30 minutes before I said a word or before I did any type of movement, I would say this to New Yorkers. It's not over yet. We still got a chance to make a splash. All right? When you think about it, Zion obviously is going to be the #1 pick for the Pelicans. That leaves us with the Grizzlies. Ja Morant is more than likely to go to the Grizzlies. So what does it leave the Knicks with? R.J. Barrett. Okay, yeah, R.J. Barrett is not the second or the first best player, right? There were some games when he was on Duke that he didn't show up, and there were some games where he played on Duke when you thought he was the #1 pick at times. Not enough to lead the Knicks to the promised land. All right, cool. Now, think about this. Anthony Davis still wants out of New Orleans. All right? And I believe that if the Pelicans is going to trade AD, which obviously they will have to do because he doesn't want to stay there, they're going to have to make some deals. And to me, obviously you got the Celtics, the Lakers, but the Knicks have the best package for Anthony Davis. Why? Because let's say you draft Barrett, which more than likely you would do, right? You get to trade R.J. Barrett, possibly Kevin Knox, a couple first-round picks to the Pelicans for AD. And now you can send R.J. Barrett to play with his teammate from Duke on the Pelicans. It makes all the maddest sense in the world. Not everything in the NBA has to be so complex. Not everything in the NBA have to be, you need Albert Einstein to figure it out. Some things is just simple mathematics, simple logic, ladies and gentlemen. At the end of the day, this is the Real Leel Show. I'm going to give it to you real, because that's exactly what I do. So there is hope in the New York land for the New York Knickerbockers and the fans that have been heartbroken for all these years. For all these years. All right? So, listen. Zion, we all know, is one of the best players, one of the best NBA prospects in a long time. And we didn't get him. Obviously, we're not going to get him because the ping pong balls didn't land in our favor. However, we still got opportunities. Anthony Davis could get traded over there. Kyrie and Durant is basically, the only thing left for them to do is sign a paper. So it's all going to be all good for the New York Knicks. Hopefully, because you got to put a big hopefully when it comes to the Knicks. Because trust me, it's just what it is. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to touch on that real quick because, at the end of the day, I love the Knicks. So I had to touch upon it, And I do believe Kyrie and Kevin Durant will go over there. I do believe that they want to play with each other. How their styles going to coexist, I don't know. But guess what? It's an experiment that I would like to see happen. Because sometimes, you got to do an experiment to see what results you're going to get. because whatever experiment we have been doing for the last couple of seasons, it hasn't got the job done. So we might as well work with that experiment, right? Kyrie, KD, and possibly an AD. Who knows, ladies and gentlemen? I just think we got to try it. And I said on my last show in the huddle, I said I do believe KD was going there, and he is going to go there, unless the brother changes his mind. But anyway, I'm done with the Knicks for now. I want to get into some boxing, ladies and gentlemen, some boxing. Deontay Wilder versus Dominique Brazile. I'm going to give you my fight predictions for that fight. Listen, it's going to be a good fight. I'm telling you right now, it's about to be a good fight. Somebody might be leaving in the ambulance, all right? So, starting with Deontay Wilder here, referencing the Tyson Fury fight that he fought last, I maintain to this day he lost that fight. I thought Tyson Fury schooled Wilder. You know, he's a big guy. He can move. He's big, and he's swift. And he took the brother to class. But, obviously, those 2 knockdowns helped Wilder get a draw, even though I still think that Fury won the fight. Now, Wilder has a perfect opportunity to show the boxing fans and the boxing critics that he is just more than a knockout artist. That he is a boxer. You hear him in interviews talking about how he's changing his fight style because he knows the criticism, and it's well-deserved criticism. All right, the guy got outclassed against Ortiz. The guy got exposed against Tyson Fury. All right, but the thing that has kept Wilder in these fights is his knockout power. And that goes to say that that's his advantage right there. You see, Dominique Brazile is going to have to be good for 12 rounds. Wilder only has to be good for 1 round. All he has to do is land that good shot, and you were a sitting duck, and it's over. All right? So before I analyze this fight, I want to say one thing, because there's a lot of controversy going on with the WBC and, you know, them investigating, you know, what Wilder said. I don't know how the hell you investigate what comes out of somebody's mouth. To me, that doesn't make any sense at all. All right? That's like me saying I'm black. Okay, you're under investigation. We about to investigate what you said. No, I'm black. I mean that. So how are you investigating what Wilder said at the media conference when he said he's trying to catch the body? The brother been saying that for the last couple of fights. What are you investigating? Hello, come on now. That's just retarded. It's either if you think that what he said goes against the guidelines of boxing and he deserves to be suspended or something, then you do that. Or leave it alone. Don't talk about, oh, we investigating. Come on, that's just stupid right there. That's just a bunch of stupidity. Come on, man. Really? All right, I'm not the biggest fans of those comments, but at the end of the day, it's boxing. He has the right to trash talk. You know, he has the right to say what he got to say. At the end of the day, like he said, he's getting paid to lay somebody out. That's exactly what he's getting paid to do. So if that's exactly what he wants to do and a little bit more, he's getting paid to do it, he could do it. I wouldn't go that far in saying it, but at the end of the day, he has the right to say it because it's boxing. Now, I'm going to see this fight. This is about to be an electric fight, ladies and gentlemen. All right, these 2 guys do not like each other. They had beef. We all know about the hotel incident. All right? These guys do not like each other at all. So I'm expecting to see a good 12 rounds of heavy action, heavy boxing. Dominique Brazile, he had his opportunity before, and he's lucky that he's getting another one. He fought AJ a couple years ago in 2016. He lost. He got knocked out. He got beat like a piñata, and he got taken to class, right? But at the end of the day, that was 2016. We in a different year right now, and he had time to mature. He seemed like a better fighter since then. He seemed more improved. But will it be enough? See, the thing about Anthony Joshua is he's more of a boxer. He's more of a technical boxer. His mechanics is sharp, you know, and he can box. He has power, and he can box. So, obviously, with a guy like Brazile that doesn't move a lot, and to me, that's what's going to cause him to get hit with a lot of good shots from Wilder. The fact that he can't move. When Wilder fought Fury, what made the fight so hard for Deontay Wilder was that Fury was this big guy that can move, that was swift, like DJ Swift. I mean, seriously. So, I think this is going to be a competitive fight in the beginning. You know, in the beginning, it's going to be competitive. You got Dominique Brazile, a guy that hates Wilder. You got Wilder that hates Dominique Brazile because they had beef, like I said, from a hotel incident. But as time goes on, ladies and gentlemen, I think Wilder is going to have a field day. This brother is going to beat this dude to the point where it's just going to be hard to watch. Wilder is a scary dude, and Wilder got the power to knock this guy out, and I believe he will. I believe this fight is going to end in a TKO. Why? Because, you know, it's just Wilder's power. This guy's the baddest man on the planet. He's the baddest man on the planet. So the fact of the matter is Dominique Brazile cannot move. He's a sitting duck in the ring. It's not going to go well for him. However, there's still hope. At the end of the day, it's boxing. You don't come with your best game, it's over for you. So at the end of the day, that's what makes me hopeful about this fight, is that, number one, the animosity towards each other, maybe it brings out the best in Brazile. Brazile learned from his past loss against Joshua. Maybe he's taken that to, heart, and he's in the gym and he learned from that mistake, and then he could beat somebody like Wilder. So possibly it could happen. But like I said, I'm going with Wilder. I'm just not going to go against the Bronx Bomber at all. All right? At all. And if I was betting on this fight, which I actually might do, betting lines are still open because I might get some money. You know what I'm saying? This is summertime. I need some money. So I might bet on this fight. But I got Wilder. I got Wilder winning this fight. And to touch up on the Luis Ortiz, the Gerard Miller thing, right? Because I touched up on it before. I just want to say this. Any fighter, right? Because I think that boxing is a joke. Boxing is a joke. And I love boxing. But the politics of boxing, the rules of boxing is a joke. A guy that has been busted for 3 different substances, right? 3 different substances should be banned from boxing, right? And I know somebody that knows him. But at the end of the day, if I knew Michael Myers, that doesn't mean Michael Myers is a Christian. Michael Myers is a serial killer. You know what I'm saying? So the guy took substances, 3 different ones, and he got busted for it. So what, we going to throw this guy up like he's in a parade? No. The brother got to be suspended for life in boxing. Why? Because number one, you're putting somebody's life in danger, right? Because first of all, it's boxing. You're already in danger. So to enhance your skills, what are you, scared? Come on. You cannot be doing stuff like that at all. It's uncalled for. So the fact of the matter is they gave him a 6-month ban. That's uncalled for. I mean, he has to be suspended for life. A 6-month ban for taking 3 different substances. So what you think that's going to do to other people? Other people going to be like, all right, 6 months? Shoot, we fight every 6 months. So you got to set the precedent. If you were to suspend this dude, if everybody knew, right, that they were going to, matter of fact, this is the Real Leel Show, right, on S.STREET Media. So it's not FCC regulated, so I'm going to bring it out to the table. If cops knew they could shoot black men across the street like that, and they were going to get penalized and actually get penalized for it, they wouldn't do it. Problem solved. Injustices is over. America, move on to the next, stage. But it doesn't work like that. These guys are getting off by the moment, by the minute. So what happens? More black people that look like me get shot and killed, right? So in boxing, if guys are not getting the proper suspensions, they're going to take more risk in taking those drugs. Now, if you suspend those guys for life, and you know what? They should be banned after the first strike. Why? Because that will make them not do it. If you say, oh, you got 3 strikes. Okay, I'm going to use my 3 strikes then. If I got 3 strikes available, just like in class, 3 strikes, you're out. Or baseball, 3 strikes, I got strikes to lose. So I'm going to use it. Simple as that. So if you ban these guys after the first strike, it's going to change the game. And it's going to change the game for the better. All right, I don't mind. I'm not condoning it, but I don't mind baseball, a sport like baseball, using steroids. Because you're not hurting nobody. You're hitting the ball, you're not punching nobody. I can understand baseball. Soccer, for crying out loud, you're kicking the ball. All right? I'm not going to criticize somebody for doing that in soccer. All right? If you're playing ping pong, whatever the hell you would need steroids to play ping pong for, I'm not going to blame you. But when it comes to combat fighting, in boxing, it can't happen. Ladies and gentlemen, whatever with the boxing, WBC has did was disgraceful. All right, suspending this guy for only 6 months. But that's my thoughts on that. So now I'm gonna go into some recapping of the NBA playoffs real quick as I gather my notes together before we move on to our pop culture topics, right? So last night the Warriors defeated the Trailblazers 114 and 111, in which was a very entertaining game. To see the Splash Brothers go at it was mind-boggling. I mean, Seth Curry had a couple good steals on his brother, made a couple good three-pointers. Obviously, we know more of Steph Curry because Steph Curry is the guy who we know as the best shooter in the world. But Seth Curry did his thing last night. But Steph Curry also did his thing last night, putting up over 30-something points. To me, the Portland Trailblazers messed up when they lost game 2 last night. That was a perfect opportunity, being up 65-50 at halftime against the defending champs. You have to close that game out. They didn't do it. They lost. They turned the ball over a little bit. The Warriors, they made their shots when they had to. And, it brings the question, do the Warriors actually need KD? Now, I'm not going to sit here and lie to y'all and act like I don't know basketball and say that they better without KD, because you could never be better than having a number one player in the world. Obviously, you have a number one player in the world, you that much better. So I'm not going to sit here and lie to y'all. However, this team has won 73 wins prior to KD getting over there. KD got over there, it made them even better and more lethal. But now that he's injured and he's likely going to be out for the rest of the series, hopefully he gets back in the finals. But the Warriors showing you that this team, I can't wait to see Kevin Durant leave, because I want to see more of the Splash Brothers, like how it used to be. Draymond Green plays better when Kevin Durant is now on the court. He's more of an assist guy. He gets his players involved. He almost had a triple-double last night. That's the Draymond Green we see when Kevin Durant is not there. Stephen Curry lights the ball. Stephen Curry always light it up a lot of the times. But he's at his best when Kevin Durant is not there. The role players are at their best when Kevin Durant is not there. Not to take anything away from Kevin Durant. He's still Kevin Durant, and he's still the best player in the world. However, the team just played a little bit more better when he's not on the court. Now for Portland, there's only one thing they could do, and that's take these 2 games at home. They lost this game 2. They should have won it. They lost it. They got to take the crown. They got to take home court advantage. All right? I have a stat from them, and I believe they're 3-5. Yup, they 3-5 on the road in the playoffs, and they 5-1 at home. So obviously the home record shows you that they play better at home. So, and it's always a tough place to play in Portland. So they got to win that game. I thought, them losing game 2 probably took their soul out their chest. But at the end of the day, when you come home, you always get the crowd rocking, and it brings that intensity, and you come out there and you show what you got to do. You at home. KD is not there. You got to win that game. You got to win those next 2 games if you're Portland. Otherwise, it's going to be a sweep. All right? And we got to get our brooms ready. But if the Warriors go to the finals, which obviously I think they will, without KD, can this team beat the Bucks, who their team is big? These guys are huge. These guys can shoot. Brick Lopez all of a sudden develop a three-point shot. I mean, you got big guys, Chris Middleton, just chucking up threes. And of course you got the freak of nature himself, the Greek freak, who we all know struggles in game 1s, because he struggled in the game 1 against the Celtics, and he struggled again today on Wednesday. Lucky thing enough, Brick Lopez, was doing what he was doing, and it got the Bucks to win that game. So without KD, I don't know. I think the Bucks have a legitimate shot of beating the Warriors without KD because of their size and how they can jam Curry. And you know what happens when you jam Curry. So, and you take Curry out. So I think the Bucks could beat the Warriors in a game 7 without Kevin Durant. So we'll see what happens with the status with Kevin Durant. But to wrap things up with the playoffs, to touch on the game before last night, the Raptors and the Bucks. See, this was another case of the road team, right, having the opportunity to win. They were up and they had a perfect opportunity to win and they lost. The Greek Freak did not play a good game, and they lost. Kyle Lowry played a good game, and Kyle Lowry is a guy that's been in Alaska for the whole time in the playoffs because he's always cold. He showed up, and you still lose. Oh my gosh. That has to be heartbreaking. So, I said before the series started, this game is going 7. I still think it will go 7. I still think the Bucks will win. But like the Trailblazers, the Raptors got to win at home. And they need to help out Kawhi just a little bit more than they are doing. When Kawhi go on the bench, his team is struggling. Kawhi is their offense. And a lot of people forgot how good Kawhi actually is. Not was. Is. He's very good. We forgot about him. I didn't forget about him. Y'all forgot about him. I've been saying he was going to be a top 3 player in the East this year. But nobody listens to me. Nobody listens to real Leel, even though there is a real in front of the Leel. Nobody. But it's all good. It's all good. I will continue to keep proving y'all wrong. Honestly. But those are my thoughts on the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. And it's time to get into some pop culture topics right now. So, let me see. This is what I'm going to start off with. As a matter of fact, before we get into these pop culture topics, I just want to let y'all know next week we're going to have some new projects coming. We're trying to get another show on called What's Your Grind. It's going to be a podcast dedicated to promoting businesses across New York City from different variety of brands, clothing lines, marketing firms, whatever. We're going to be out here doing what we got to do. And it's about to be one of the biggest podcasts in the city. So you definitely want to tune into that. And also on the Real Leel Show, next week I will have a special guest on the show. You will find out next week. And we're going to be diving into a lot of topics, a lot of sports topics and about his business. So you definitely want to tune in next week. But moving on to the pop culture topics, in which in this section is called Real Random Topics. I want to start off with Steve Harvey. Let's talk about Steve Harvey. All right? The last time I talked about Steve Harvey, it didn't go good. It didn't go good for him, actually. I had a lot to say about him. And that was the time where he and Monique had that little confrontation about money versus integrity in that sort, right? That was the last time. So basically, Steve Harvey is going through a lot of turmoil right now. He just got a lot of his shows dropped. The Steve Harvey Show, he got that dropped. A lot of other shows got dropped. And it's mainly because of his statements about rich people only sleep, less than 10 hours a day or 8 hours a day. And poor people, something about, the stock, people at the stock market is making decisions to, to control your life. Just from a lot of people's perspective, bashing the poor people. Because obviously, let's be real here. It is America. Not everybody's going to be rich. Not everybody's going to be poor. You're going to have some people that's wealthy. You're going to have some people that's poor. Steve Harvey happens to be one of the wealthy people with a lot of radio, TV gigs. He's always working. His work ethic, I would never deny. He has a strong work ethic, as you can see. And, even with the shows that are being dropped, he still has a few other shows left. But I would say this. At first, my thoughts of it was, this is a guy, once again, the same guy that said, this is the money game. It's not about black or white. It's the money game. The same guy, right? I was going to air him out on the show, right? I was going to air him out. I'm like, this guy's at it again. This coon guy is at it again. But then I thought about it, right? Because, listen, I haven't got sleep in the last 2 days. Why? Because I've been working. You know, I've been going around filming, doing, filming shows and doing this podcast now and stuff like that. I haven't got sleep in 2 days. So I'm sitting there like, maybe this brother's right. Maybe this brother is right. I haven't got sleep in 2 days. So maybe in order to become rich, you probably got to work a couple more hours than the average people. Rich people don't sleep unless you got, something called white privilege, We all know about that. I ain't gonna get too deep into that, but unless you got something called white privilege and you just born in the family and you get a car when you 2 years old and you don't even know how the hell to drive the car at 2 years old, then yeah, you can sleep all you want. But for the average American, you have to work. So I tend to be 50-50 with this. Because, yeah, I think he could have came out better. Maybe from a lot of people's perspective, he was looking down on the poor. Because sometimes when you're rich and you're in positions of power, we see this time and time again. With people that is in positions of power, they start to look down on people like they never was in that predicament before. Because they have power. Power changes people. Power changes people's mind and all that. People get blindsided. Ladies and gentlemen, the money talks. Bullshit walks. We all know the saying. I mean, it is what it is. So, yeah, a lot of people probably, thought that he was looking down on the poor. And probably to some extent they are right. But at the same time, there is truth, in my opinion, to what he's saying. Because you're going to lose a lot of sleep making a lot of money. And that's just reality. You feel me? But now that Steve Harvey is losing a lot of these shows, this brother about to get a whole lot of sleep. He's about to get a whole lot of sleep, my brother. So you saying you don't get 8 hours, you get less than 8 hours of sleep, you're going to get a lot of hours of sleep now. Because you losing your shows like that. They dropping you like a fly. And they replacing you. So, hey, Steve Harvey, I mean, I think he publicly, he came out just now, recently, of, how he felt about his shows being dropped. Obviously, he wasn't pleased about it. As he shouldn't be. You lose a lot of opportunities. That's a lot of checks you losing. You feel me? But he still hosts about 3 shows and Miss Universe. So he still got radio gigs and he still got, TV gigs. So, he's better off than the average American, the average black American too at that. So, hey, he still got it made. Shouldn't be no complaining, to be honest with you. Shoot, people would be lucky just to have a show. So that's my thoughts on that. Now, moving on, I want to get into Aisha Curry's statement about, attention. Her wanting attention from other guys when she's already married and she's been married with the same guy since they've been together since high school and he's a NBA MVP and yeah. So what I got to say about that is simple. I don't know if it was clout chasing because it possibly could be, but at the end of the day, that's something that I feel you should not bring out to the public. If I was Stephen Curry, I would have confronted the girl. And probably he did. I don't know. I'm not in their life. But to say that in public TV, it might have been clout chasing. That might have been a act that was, made out to be. That was actually planned and plotted. Because, or maybe it's real. Because in the age of, social media and stuff like that, people don't know how to communicate anymore. Everything is being said in every other place other than to the person's face. That's just how it is. But to be honest with you, man, that's just stupid, man. That's retarded. That's something that should not be said. All right, you got a husband, all right? A husband that you've been with for a long time. Obviously, the same fortunes don't work out for everybody. You need to be grateful. I don't understand why you would want attention from another man or so-and-so when you have a husband. See, that's the problem now. Everybody wants attention. Everybody wants to feel love. In the age of social media, everybody want to feel love. Everybody want to feel appreciated. So even when you have somebody appreciating you, you want to appreciate for somebody else. All right? And I'm pretty sure a lot of guys already hopped in her DM by now. I'm pretty sure once she said that. So basically, you inviting guys to come in your DM to try to talk to you now by you putting that out there. So where is the loyalty in that relationship? You see, one thing leads to another. You putting it in the universe that you want attention. So what do you think you're going to get? Attention that you don't need. Why? Because you're married. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't understand society sometimes. I really don't. I honestly really don't at all. You know, I'm tired. I'm honestly tired right now. Like literally sleepy tired. And I got to come on this show and talk about stuff like this. Like Aisha Curry. Please. Please. All right? Please. And now, you have Gabrielle Union that's defending her. I don't know how the hell you defend that. I don't know how you defend that. There's nothing to defend. Yes, all right, she has the right to say what she got to say. But that doesn't make it right. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the point. Some people have the right to do what they do, but that doesn't make it right. That's what I got to say about that. All right, so now in closing, let's see what we got here. I want to talk about one more topic, possibly. Let's see. Get something else. All right. So basically, right? In sports and pop culture, there's a lot of things that go on, and it's a lot of interesting things. But I would say this: on the Real Leel Show, we definitely cover all these things, right? All the latest news, sports topics, this and that. It's a lot of them, a whole lot of them, right? So as you can see, I'm procrastinating right now because I got to get the next topic on the board that we're going to talk about. But maybe I'll touch upon, let's see. I'll touch upon the Jets real quick, right, to close it out in sports. We all know they fired their general manager. Everything is a mess over there. I don't know why everything is so messy in New York. I just don't know why. Why is everything so messy in New York? The Knicks not getting the pick, the Giants, David Gettleman that don't know what the hell he's doing, trading away OBJ for nothing, just stupid moves. Why is everything going wrong in New York right now? The Jets seem to be lost. They got Le'Veon Bell. They was trending upwards, and now they lost again. Lost and found. I don't know what it is with these New York teams. The Mets, struggling. I mean, they 20-22 now, and I know they were struggling, right? They started off, having good home runs, and their bullpen was all right, and then their bullpen is terrible now. And they pitching, which was once their savior, is terrible. Like, all around New York, ladies and gentlemen, we got to get it together. We got to get it together. We have to in New York. Because at the end of the day, New York is the city of all cities. It's the city that never sleeps, for crying out loud. It is. But when this video go up, I want y'all to let me know who you think will win this Wilder fight. This Wilder in Brazile fight. Like I said, I think this is going to be a knockout. I'm predicting in the 8th round, Wilder TKO. And maybe somebody might go to the hospital. Maybe. And that's what I got to say. Let me know what you think about the Knicks. Should the Pelicans trade Zion Williamson? I mean, not Zion Williamson, Anthony Davis. Obviously, he might still be firmly on his stance that he wants out. Where should they trade him to? Do you like the Lakers package? Do you like the Celtics package? Do you like the Knicks package? Me personally, I like the Knicks package the best because you get to keep Zion happy by bringing his former teammate from Duke over there. Let me know what you think about that. Let me know what you think about all the topics that I discussed today on the Real Leel Show. And once again, this is a short show today because I was very busy. Didn't have a lot of time to prepare for a lot of topics today. So, I was very busy and very tired. So we're going to end the show off early today. However, next week, we have a lot. And I'm giving y'all the heads up right now. What's Your Gone podcast is going to be on. My two co-hosts, from the college version of the Real Leel Show is going to be on, and we're going to have our first guest. So you're going to have to tune in to see who the guests are. I ain't going to blow nothing until the show, the show is. But it's going to be some well-known guests that's going to be a part of the show. Also, on the next episode of the Real Leel Show, I'm going to also have a guest. He has a business. We're going to dive into his business, and it is related to sports. And we're going to talk about other sports topics. So that's all I had for today, ladies and gentlemen. Very short show today, and we'll be back next week for more of the Real Leel Show. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to my channel at Real Leel TV. Once again, Real Leel TV. Hit the subscribe button. Follow S.STREET Media platform. S.STREET Media on YouTube and on Instagram. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for today. And I'm going to play a song, and then after this song, we out.
I just can't sometimes.
Feel like I'm Pablo, feel like Escobar. Feel like a Chapo, this day went too far. Feel like I'm Tony, my friends let me scar. Let me with no heart, let me with no heart. Feel like I'm Pablo, feel like Escobar. Feel like a Chapo, this day went too far. Feel like I'm Tony, my friends let me scar. Let me with no heart, let me with no heart, let me with no heart. I just played my part. Told me not to come to your dog at the bar. Lose situation in the pool with sharks. I'm plugged in, I can turn my pain into art. Young static shot, I give you bitches spark. Put that bag over your face, now you're in the dark. Renovate the hotel in the pen now. I want the ransom, you come late, we chopping skin off. Don't pull up to the yoke, bring my cash, no windows. Yeah, I've been the GOAT, bitch, I was born in December. Remember we were kings, we had expensive things. Over those ass hood dreams, damn. Feel like I'm Pablo, feel like Escobar. Feel like a Chapo, this day went too far. Feel like I'm Tony, my friends let me scar. Let me with no heart, let me with no heart. Feel like Escobar. Feel like a Chapo, this day went too far. Feel like I'm Tony, my friends let me scar. Let me with no heart, let me with no heart.
Feeling like I'm Tony when I step out the booth. Money stacked to the roof. Hash all on my tooth. Yeah, got a cougar in the coupe. Cross me like they hoop. Tryna cross me, then I shoot. Bitch, check stats on the news. Feeling like I'm Pablo. Yeah, I got hands on sight. Bad bitches, my delight. They all want the pipe. They fucking with the hype. Never touching no white. Making boss moves, that's every day. Tryna hit a lick off in the bed. Tryna get the Cali strands. Yeah, tryna make a couple bands. Yeah, tryna make a couple stacks. Damn, tryna get a couple racks. Young niggas can't relax. Too much money to attract. Niggas better recognize a young nigga on the rise.
Feel like I'm Pablo, feel like Escobar. Feel like a Chapo, this day went too far. Feel like I'm Tony, my friends let me scar. Let me with no heart, let me with no heart. Feel